In this lecture, I will discuss about scanline polygon filling algorithm. Flat fill algorithm and boundary fill algorithm, both the algorithm are seed pixel based algorithm. Scanline fill algorithm is not seed pixel based algorithm. Here we are filling an area to determine the overlap intervals for scan lines that cross the area. That means for a raster system, for a given polygon, we take which scan lines have passed through our polygon. Next, we are determining for those scan lines which portion of those scan lines are a part of the polygon. So those portion of the scan lines within the polygon is being filled with some fill color. Now the question is that how we will check which region of the scan lines are a part of the polygon. So using even odd test, we can determine it easily. This is a polygon with green boundary and we are filling it with red color. Suppose we have drawn a scan line which has crossed our polygon. So area fill algorithm just locates the intersection point of the scan line with the polygon edges. For this scan line, the intersection points with the polygon edges are from x is equal to 10 and x is equal to 15, x is equal to 23 and x is equal to 28. So at these intersection points, these scan lines have crossed this polygon. Before going into the detailing of scanline fill algorithm, we have to know the property of spatial coherence. What is that? For a particular region, adjacent pixels are likely to have the same color, but this property is not observed at the boundary region. For a raster system, adjacent pixels on a scan line are likely to have the same characteristics. That means for a particular scan line, every adjacent pixels, consecutive pixels, they are likely to have the same color. This is called the scan coherence. Using this property, we fill every pixels along a scan line within the polygon. In this figure, a polygon is given. We are considering two scan lines, scan line y dash and scan line y. Scan line y dash has intersected 4 number of polygon edges. So thus it has 4 intersection point in which only one intersection point is also a polygon vertex. And at the same time, that polygon vertex, which is also an intersection point, the candidate edges have come from the same side. So that intersection point has to be counted for twice. So it is considered to be double intersection point. But for the scan line Y, it has intersected 5 number of polygon edges. That means this scan line has 5 number of intersection points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As it has intersected 5 number of edges, that means it should have 5 number of intersection points. But one of the intersection point is also a polygon vertex. So whether it will be counted for twice or only once, So as those candidate edges for that intersection point have come from the different side, so that particular intersection point has to be counted only for once. So this intersection point is called as single intersection point. In this slide, we will understand why we are talking about double intersection point and single intersection point. For this polygon, we are considering two scanlines, scanline y dash and scanline y. Scanline y dash has intersected this polygon at 4 intersection points. Using even odd test method, we are determining the interior regions along the scanlines from 1 to 2 and from 2 to 1. But in case of scanline y, as it has intersected this polygon at 5 intersection points, using even odd test method, we can see the interior regions from 1 to 2, then from 2 to 1, which has been marked with red color. But the point is that it is not the correct thing. That is, it should be from 1 to 2 as interior region, and from 2 to 1 is outside region, and from 1 to 1 is inside region. But even odd test method has identified, using this method, we are generally uh, having the interior region from 1 to 2, then 2 to 1, which is not the right thing. Here, the intersection point that is marked with X, labeled with X, that intersection point is also a polygon vertex, but the candidate edges have come from different sides. So that point should be counted as the single intersection point. Then we need to have some additional processing to determine the correct interior points. In this slide, we will determine which intersection point should be taken as single intersection point and which intersection point should be taken as double intersection point. If the endpoint y values of two consecutive edges monotonically increasing or decreasing, then we need to count the middle vertex as a single intersection point for any scanline passing through that vertex. Otherwise, it represents a local extremum on the polygon boundary, and the two intersections with the scanline passing through that vertex can be added to the intersection list. That means that particular intersection point is being considered to be double intersection point. In previous slide, I have told that for single intersection point, we have to do some additional processing. For a particular intersection point, which is also polygon vertex, if we see that is two consecutive edges have come from the different side. That means if we see that the y coordinates are monotonically increasing or decreasing. Monotonically increasing means with whenever we are considering the counterclockwise direction, and monotonically decreasing means the opposite direction. As we process each edge, we can check to determine whether that edge and next edge have either monotonically increasing or decreasing endpoint y values, which ensures that two edges have come from the different sides. When the endpoint coordinates of two edges are increasing, then the y value of the upper endpoint for the current edge is decreased by 1. And if we look into the figure, when the endpoint y values are monotonically decreasing, then we decrease the y coordinate of the upper endpoint of the edge following the current edge. So here that has been highlighted using dotted line and the solid line. I have already talked about the property of coherence method. In scanline method also we use the property of coherence. Coherence methods are incremental calculations applied along a single scan line or between successive scan lines. In determining each intersection, incremental coordinate calculations along any edge can be set up by exploiting the fact that the slope of the polygon edge is constant from one scan line to the next. Suppose scan line yk and scan line yk plus 1. Suppose scan line yk has intersected a polygon edge at xk and scan line yk plus 1 has intersected that particular polygon edge at xk plus 1. So using these two values, we can determine the slope of a polygon boundary in this way: yk plus 1 minus yk divided by xk plus 1 minus yk. Here in this slide, we can see the calculation of slope of a polygon boundary. From this figure, you can see that is the two scan lines are being considered, scan line yk plus 1 and scan line yk, and they have intersected the polygon edges at xk plus 1, yk plus 1 and xk and yk. So thus, slope of the polygon boundary can be easily calculated. Since the y coordinates between two scan lines is simply 1, that means yk plus 1 minus yk equal to 1. So xk plus 1 equal to xk plus 1 by m. Each successive in x-intercept can thus be calculated by adding the inverse of the slope and rounding to the nearest integer. Here I am trying to list down the steps which are being followed in this algorithm. The first, we are determining the intersection point for each scan line with all edges, polygon edges. Then short intersections in X. Calculate the parity of intersections to determine inside region or outside region. Then the pixels which are a part of inside region, they are being filled. Special cases are being followed. Horizontal lines should be excluded because they are also a part of scan line. Vertices lying on scan lines handled by shortening of edges. Coherence between lines indicate that edges that are likely to intersect y will also intersect y plus 1. And this is the spatial coherence or scan coherence. And x changes predictably from scan line y to y plus 1. Incremental calculation is possible. First, we have to store the polygon boundary in a shorted edge table that contains all the information necessary to process the scan lines. What are the information like x coordinate, y coordinate, inverse slope, etc. Next, bucket sort is used to store the edges shorted on the smallest y values of each in the current scan line position. Non-horizontal edges are entered into the shorted edge table because here we are not considering any horizontal edges. Each entry in the table for a particular scan line contains maximum y value for that edge, x intercept value at the lower vertex for the edge, and the inverse slope of the edge. These three fields we are considering for a particular scan line. For each scan line, the edges are shorted in order from left to right. Here, that is for case of scan line y. We are considering what are the edges have been intersected by that scan line. So those edges are shorted in order from left to right. Next, we process the scan line from the bottom of the polygon to the top. We are starting our processing from the bottom scan line to the top, producing an active edge list for each scan line crossing the polygon boundaries. That means for a particular scan line which which edges have to be considered. Those edges are a part of active edge list. The active edge list for a scan line contains all edges crossed by that scan line with iterative calculations used to obtain the edge intersections. For each scan line, we fill in the pixel spans for each pair of x-intercepts starting from the left x-intercept value and ending at one position before the rightmost x-intercept. Each polygon edge can be shortened by 1 unit in the y direction at the top endpoint to avoid overlapping. If we look into this figure, the polygon ABCDE, we are starting from bottom to top. A is the bottommost vertex. A is a vertex of AEH and ABH. We have to consider scan line YA passing through vertex A. For YA scan line, we have to store the information about AEH and ABH. For AEH, we are storing YE, topmost vertex. For AEH, XA intercept for the lower vertex. For AEH, A is the lower vertex, E is the top vertex. So here we are considering XA, X intercept for the lower vertex. We have to store. Then inverse slope, that is 1 by M AE. Then we have to store another edge AB, information about AB. So here A is the bottommost vertex and B is the topmost vertex. So we have to consider the information about YB, then x-intercept of lower vertex, that is XA, and inverse slope 1 by MAB. So thus we can consider, we can store the every information about the edges which has been crossed by the scan line YD, YC in this way. In scanline fill algorithm, two data structures are used, global edge table and active edge table. In global edge table, what we keep the information of all the edges of the polygon. It contains mean y value, max y value, x value of lower vertex, inverse slope of edge. These are the four information for every edge are kept in global edge table. Another data structure we use, active edge table. First we have to know the concept of active edges, particular for a particular current scan line, which are the edges have been intersected by that current scan line. Active edge table contains only the information of active edges. That means if we process scan line 10, then we have to consider which are the edges intersected by current scan line 10, scan line equal to 10. So those informations, those edges are being kept in active edge table. Horizontal edge, in global edge table, horizontal edge is not stored, and if we see that any edge having inverse slope is not stored in the global edge table. And also global edge table is sorted according to increasing mean y and x values. Here I have given scanline fill algorithm. Now we have to determine from which scanline we have to start. In global edge table, already we have kept all the edges with their mean y, max y, x value of lower vertex and inverse slope. In step 1, we are taking the mean y value as the value of current scan line. So this becomes the current scan line. Initially, active vegetable is empty. We have to perform the next steps until vegetable and active vegetable become empty. Next, I'm coming to the step 3a. For a current scan line, we are taking the edges whose y mean equal to the value of the current scan line and moving those edges to active vegetable. Then sort the active vegetable on increasing values of y's, values of x. What is the purpose of sorting? As we are filling the horizontal pixel span from left to right, so it is necessary to sort them according to increasing x values. Next, we are incrementing scan line by 1. That means we are applying scan coherence here. After processing current scan line, we are getting the next line by incrementing y values by 1. So for that y, that means yk plus 1, we will be getting the corresponding x values using xk plus 1 equal to what? Xk plus 1 by m, the previous xk plus 1 by m. Then we have to remove the edges from active vegetable whose entries uh, those entries for which y equal to y max. That means if we say that for a particular edge in active vegetable, if its y max is equal to the current scan line value, that means we have processed that edge. So that means it is we are just removing those edges from active vegetable. This is the scan line fill algorithm.